Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the BBONYG Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's John, special guest Vin is here. The BBONYG Podcast crew went to the game last night. I was in the Bud Light box with Jules, met up with John and his fiance. They were in the Corona box. We're hanging out, walking around. I got there mad early. I had a bunch of Stella 25-ounce cans in my car in the park. I was drinking in my car like a degenerate. Then I got out. Then I'm like, I got to start talking because it was tailgates all over the place. I started talking to a few Cowboy Girls fans over there. I told them about the podcast. Then I stopped this other place. This guy had this fucking like van with the Giants, all the Super Bowl records painted onto his van in blue. It was fucking awesome. So I went there. He gave me a piece of steak. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like I told them about the podcast. Then
was he by himself or was he with people?
No, he was with a group of people. Like, yeah, it was
all
like,
right, because he might have been like, yo, I got some more steak in the back of the van.
Yeah, I would have went. I would have been taken. You would have had to come fucking get me. So I was fucking in there. I was chilling with them for a minute. Then I found John, his fiance. We were hanging out outside. We checked out the Bud Light thing outside. Then we ran into fucking Jules finally.
It wasn't my fault.
It was cool. We seen you walking around. I know Jules put on a little bit extra pounds. He's walking around like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the parking lot. I spotted him a while away. Fucking found him. You'll see the pictures online. We'll post that on the BBONYG Twitter page. But it was fun meeting up with you guys, hanging out, drinking pregame. Sorry, Jules, I gave your beers away to those girls. And then they fucking took the beers and left me. But I think Jules, we met up with another guy that we told about the podcast. I forgot his name, but he all of a sudden he sees me and Jules, right? He's like, you guys are gamblers. I'm like, how'd you fucking know this, man? Like who's this fucking guy? So we fucking started talking with him and told him about the podcast. And then Jules, I got a funny story with Jules. We went up with we snuck into John's box in the Corona box to hang out with John. I sat with John for the national anthem and shit from the beginning with all the fireworks and shit. And then Jules and John's fiance was waiting online to get a shot. And then I'm like, this dude's taking forever. Why back there? Check out the line. Jules and John's fiance is like 2 people away from getting the drinks. And then all of a sudden the guy just spazzes out like, system's down. I quit. The dude just quit. He couldn't pour liquor shots. He just like, I quit. And he just ran away. He just took off. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah,
dude, no, listen, like, and it was crazy because you got to the point where you were waiting so long that you said, wait, I'm about to just fucking walk off this shit. Like, I could have went to like the bar outside by the fucking racetrack and walked back into the stadium quicker than fucking the 10 people that were online in front of us, right? And then literally we're like fucking 2 people away. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is taking this? Your fiance was making jokes. She was like, fuck it, I'll jump back there and help him if anything. I'm like, you might have to, or because I just wanted to do a fucking good luck pregame shot. And we know what happens because I didn't get the shot in. What happens, we fucking lost. But anyway, and the dude literally like throws up his hands and he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, the computer's not working and I'm just going to go. And he just left. It wasn't like, yo, I'll be back in an hour, in these 10 minutes. Let me get my manager to check. No, he was like, I got to go. And
my man ran away.
Off, bro. He was like boogieing, not like he was going to find somebody, but just like he didn't get killed or like the riot didn't break out and start robbing the fucking bottles. Yeah, it was
Jules, he ran a 40-yard dash out of that fucking place. And jumped
yo, it was crazy. Like, you saw the smoke he was running so quick.
He saw that we don't have any wide receivers and was trying out of the fucking Corona box.
He was like, yo, I got a shot. Yo, the Giants have told me if I catch this pass, I got a shot to play it.
That was cool. That was cool meeting up with you guys, hanging out for a little bit. I wish we could have snuck you in.
And listen,
it's good though.
For the record, I was not late, okay? And my buddy Jim, that turned out, because I didn't think like so much was going on, didn't even get a chance to share this story with you. Guy sits down, when you're leaving from Penn Station, it's always like, am I on the right train? It's going to stop and see Caucus. It's going to skip. It's going to go to Newark. You always get nervous. And then you just start following jerseys or you make a friend and you figure that shit out. Anyway, long story short, the guy's good friends with Sean Landetta. Like, he showed me pictures of him and his brother having Landetta over for drinks and cocktails. He's like, yeah, that motherfucker talks too much. So shout out to Jim real quick. All right. That was, down at Boca Raton. I told him about it and everything. But, we literally get to where we're supposed to catch a train in Secaucus like 10 minutes before the train. So we're like, great, this is awesome. And now at that point in time, when it's still early enough, it's only like the last hour and a half before kickoff that they start running like every 10 minutes. This shit is like every 20. So we're like, we're good. We didn't miss it. 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by, still no fucking train. And they're like, I guess it's running late. No fucking running late. They skipped the fucking 5:45 and we had to wait till the 6:15 to fucking show up. And we caught that one. And then that thing's fucking crawling in. So yeah.
How about
fucking New Jersey Transit's the reason why I was late.
How about leaving the place? John, you left a little bit early. How was the traffic leaving?
It actually wasn't bad. The coolest part, well, the only cool part I really should say, as I was walking out, I was walking through like the gates, like those like fucking orange gates they have to like kind of corral people. And there was a golf cart coming and Lawrence Taylor was on it. So everybody like stopped and was like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" And like fucking kept it going.
Oh, that's
cool, it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
left after Dallas. I think they were up at 7 points at this point, and they had that fucking like 60-yard punt return, and I was like, I'm done. I have to fucking get up early for work tomorrow. Like, I just can't sit here and just watch them get fucking butt fucked the rest of this game.
I wish.
Unfortunately, we walked to the car, and then fucking I was watching on my phone on the ESPN Plus app, so I saw every second of the game, but I got out of there. Normally the traffic situation getting out of MetLife is fucking atrocious, but the worst part about it was walking through the parking lot and the amount of Cowboys tailgates at TVs going, celebrating, fucking talking shit. And even during the game it was like that. Every time that the fucking Cowboys did something good, like the stadium exploded. I felt like it was, if it wasn't 50-50, it was like 55-45. It was real close to even between the number of Giants fans and the fucking Dallas fans. And I know that there's a lot of Dallas fans around here, but fucking Giants fans, guys, I know they won't give us a good product to fucking get hyped about to go buy tickets, but goddamn, man, that they fucking took your wife to bed, bro. Like that shit was crazy.
Jules, how was your trip walking out of that place?
Walking out of there wasn't too crazy. I mean, listen, except for the fact that you just got to get over the fact that they actually start like hoarding you like cattle, because that's all it is. There's no fucking line, there's no structure. It's just like in between these two fucking railings, and they just fucking push you into the fucking car, and they're like, all right, get them to fucking Texas to be slaughtered and shit. Like I felt like a cow being transferred, but like other than that, it was pretty all right. You know what I mean? You deal with it. Hungover, you haven't had a drink in about an hour. It's fucking AC broken, but it was beautiful. And the Giants lost. Oh God, what a ride home.
Dude, after I walked out of that oversized air conditioning we call MetLife, I walked out of there, dude. You're right, John. There was so many Cowboy fans just hanging out. I started like sizing them up, thinking that they're gonna fight me because I was by myself walking out of the place. I'm like, all right, this dude I could probably punch right in the nose. This big dude, I'm like, I gotta kick him in the balls. I gotta kick him in the balls and fucking start running to my car. I'm like, then I'm fucking in my car. These fucking people are honking. I'm stuck there. I'm like kind of like hungover. I'm like, get me the fuck home. Then I turned on my Waze app. I'm like, all right, Waze will get me out of here. So Waze got me out of the parking lot. Then I'm going through some side roads. My Waze app down to like fucking 6%, right? Then it had me going through some industrial park, fucking no streetlights, pitch black. I'm like, this is how it ends. This is how it ends for me. I'm dying here. Like somebody's gonna get me. Fucking mad
at the stadium. There's some questionable blocks for sure. If you make the wrong turn around there,
you have no idea.
Some unfavorable neighborhoods.
I was praying that Batman would come save me. I was like, is there a Batman? If Batman is real, come fucking save me, right? So I finally fucking got on the parkway, fucking managed home. Fucking miserable time, man. But yeah, it is what it is, man. So I guess we'll go talk about the game now, I guess.
Well, I mean, listen, getting into the game, I got to admit one thing. When we did get outside and we got to the seats and we left the box, the stadium was alive. Like the towels were fucking flowing, in case you're watching a fucking YouTube game. But, we were fucking going wild. And Vin, you were watching at home. You mentioned it to us earlier, right? Like, what was it like watching from home with the game when it was getting?
You definitely saw the energy pop off the screen. Like MetLife for Giants games are pretty calm, because I think the Giant fan base, this is my own opinion, is a much more reserved, traditional conservative, older group, I think. So like, and we haven't put out a good product in the past, decade or so. So it's been quiet, to say the least. For Dable to get this whole whiteout theme going for a Monday night game that we're undefeated and we're trying to stay undefeated against the division rival who have kicked our ass, the last like 8-9 times we played them. I thought it was a good move and it showed on the screen. But I also agree that there were a lot of Dallas fans. Like you saw that on the screen as well. Anytime Dallas did something, you heard the cheers and they would go to the stands and you saw a lot of Cowboy fans there. Mm-hmm. It's always been like that. Even in the old Giant Stadium, there were Cowboy fans there. They're America's team. They're extremely popular. I don't know why nowadays, but they still are. So I don't know. It definitely translated on the TV that they were. It was good. It was a good look to see MetLife alive the way it was. It was real nice.
Yeah, I wonder how much of alive it was just because of the fact that it was Cowboys fans that were there. If they were playing some team that doesn't have a national following, like if they were playing, I don't know, fucking Cardinals or the Seahawks or whatever it was, that stadium would have been a fucking cemetery the way that game was going fucking yesterday. There were some moments that you get hyped, bro, but I don't know. I like watching games from home, because I don't like investing the entire day to see the game. I just kind of, like rather be at a bar, preferably be in my fucking house, having a drink, smoking some weed, whatever the case is. But like you can see so much more of the detail of the game from home. Like there's so much you miss, especially depending on where you're sitting. It's really tough to like not just say, okay, it looked like he got -2 yards on that fucking out route, but it ended up it was a 7-yard gain. It's like, holy fuck, like I didn't even realize. So it definitely distorts it. When you're home, you can really see, mostly because of replay and all the camera angles, you get a better sense of how that game went. Because when I left that stadium, I felt like they got thoroughly fucking hosed. Like not hosed, just dominated.
In the trenches, they did.
Yeah, well, they did for sure. I mean, they gave up the most amount of pressures since ESPN's been tracking it for like 15 fucking years. It was the worst game ever by a team in the NFL ever in 15 years or whatever, 13 years. So, but it looked like every facet of the game, they just looked like they were not even competitive. And at halftime, we were fucking tied. And later on in the game, there was a possibility that they could have tied up the game late. Like it just, the feeling of watching the game there. And what actually was transpiring based off what I've heard the last 24 hours since I've left there, Daniel Jones has been getting a lot of flowers, which is like crazy to me because people fucking hate that guy for some reason. But apparently he fucking played his heart out, and not apparently, I shouldn't say apparently, but the people think he's played his heart out and the rest of the team was just atrocious and let him down. So I wonder, like from the watching it on ESPN last night, like how did you feel like it was? Did you feel like Daniel Jones played as hard as everybody else?
Yeah, I wasn't home. I was actually at a bar, a bunch of guys. But yeah, I'm one of those guys that is not a believer in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, you look at his numbers, and I get it. He's surrounded by non-talented receivers, and he doesn't have much to work with. And the line didn't play well yesterday, and he made some throws and stuff like that, but he's not consistent enough for me. And I feel that he's skittish. Yesterday was more on the line, I would say. He's a rhythm quarterback. I feel like they should do some more 2-minute drill stuff with him, more hurry, no huddle, because I feel like he gets into a rhythm and he just gets going. They did that with Eli a lot. I would love to see them do it with Jones a little bit more, because I feel like, once he gets into a rhythm, he gets going. But, the drop passes, whether it was Galladay, who looked like he caught it and then decided to bobble it. It was crazy. He started to turn and he was ready to get more yards, and then he dropped it. It was like the weirdest. It looked intentional to me. And then guys don't run their routes. Sills, and I like Sills. I root for the guy, but it led to Diggs, who got burnt all day to get that the game-sealing interception. I don't know. I think Jones. I'm not a believer in Jones. We got to play him, for the year, but I don't see a future with us and Jones. I'll root for him. I want him to do well, but I don't know. I think he's limited. I think he's very limited. I think his ceiling is not what a lot of Giant fans may believe it to be. Because I agree with you, John. Watching it from TV standpoint, I was pretty surprised with the way people were like, the team let Jones down. And he was under a lot of duress, though. Like, Evan Neal got killed.
But him being under duress is the team letting him down.
Right. No, it is a fair point. And the drops hurt. But Jones just doesn't strike me as a guy that kind of like just take the game over. Take the game by, not only move the ball, but like, you know what it was? I think people are endeared with. He had like a bunch of first downs off of his own runs. You know what I mean? Which the guy runs well, So I think they like the grittiness that he shows with that. I personally don't like that style of quarterback. I don't think that style of quarterback is sustainable in this league. At the end of the day, you got to throw the ball. You know what I mean? And I want to see more accuracy. It was a lot of little dump offs, check downs. Take it deep. Like go Slayton. He was locking in with Slayton, but then Neal let, who was it? I think it was Lawrence he let in for another sack. And it was like, this offense basically has to be perfect. For us to score a touchdown, it has to be perfect in every way. And because we just don't have the talent, I think, offensively, where we can make mistakes. Other teams can make mistakes and still score. We cannot do that.
And we should be able to, I feel like, man. When we came into the season, like, I know Jules has really been against Galladay, but Galladay on paper, as far as, what he brings to the table.
Wait till his segment comes up when Jules, right? That's the segment going to come up in a little while.
I feel like he's gonna be in the haters club this week. I don't know, but like on paper, you got Tony, you have Galladay. Even if he has lost a step, he was never a receiver that was burning people anyways. You used his frame to catch contested balls. That was his fucking claim to why he got a $75 million fucking contract and led the league in receiving touchdowns and made a fucking Pro Bowl and all that stuff. Like, that's what he brings to the table. And they're paying him this. He's not doing anything. He gets benched, comes back, and then gets the ball thrown to him 3 times and drops it twice. Like, it's just crazy. Like the difference between what they could have had, Sterling Shepard. You get excited about Wan'Dale Robinson, and I mean the guys who are running the fucking routes right now is fucking Sills and Ricky Jones. Like, I mean, I appreciate them fucking trying, but like, it's just crazy that this kid just never got a fair shot to fucking, prove himself with the Giants, because there's no, they're not going to just grow a receiver in the fucking lab somewhere and then all of a sudden he's going to come into the Giants in late September and save the season for us. Like, we have what we have, and Shep is gone for the season now and potentially gone for his fucking career, unfortunately for him. I fucking love that guy, and we might see the last of him, like a la Victor Cruz, unfortunately. Regardless of that, how is Jones now at this point going to show that he's deserving of retain, unless he does enough behind the scenes and still, makes lemonade out of whatever lemons he's given? His time in New York, unfortunately, looks like it may come to an end at the end of the season. That fucking breaks my heart, because I love a New York athlete with his demeanor. Like, I feel like that's what it takes to win here. He has it. He has talent. And unfortunately, for every fucking reason that we can list in the next hour, it's unfortunate. It's hard not to feel like we're watching the last 12 games of his Giants career, 15 games of his Giants career.
It's unfortunate. Jules, before you go, like, me and Jules were watching the game, and I was just telling Jules over and over again, because I kind of disagree with you in a way, John, about watching the games at home versus live, because you don't really see the wide receivers, all of them, go out. I'm like, Jules, watch.
Well, that's true.
I was telling Jules, I'm like, watch all the wide receivers, every play right now. I'm like, watch it. They do not get separation. It is like, it was a fucking joke. We're yelling for Galladay. I'm like, there's no vertical threat. Without Tony going in there, Dallas, right, Jules? You said Dallas was stacking the box like nonstop. You couldn't even get a slant pass. So people dogging Daniel Jones, like, you have no idea. You don't understand what the fuck we were watching yesterday. You don't really get to see all the wide receivers go out, because they're so focused on the ball. You don't see the wide receivers. They're not even half the time. They're not even turned around looking for the ball. And it was like, it was a problem, man. It's a major problem.
One thing is this that you notice when you're there, because on the broadcast you can't see where the receivers are running. Generally, the camera is going to be just there, and then it just follows the ball as it gets thrown. But it's hard to track who's where, and not just the instantaneous picture that you see, not necessarily 4 to 5 seconds of the routes being ran or whatever it is, 3 seconds. You never see, at least for me, I don't remember ever seeing any receivers working vertical like the entire fucking game. I felt like as the Giants were going, it was like just they were trying to succeed by doing death of 1,000 cuts. Like all the receivers, when they were playing, everything was so compact right next to the line of scrimmage, like inside of the first down, like that 5 to 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Everything was all in there. It's so hard to operate like that. You're basically forcing yourself to go the entire length of the field running a goal line offense in a sense, where you don't have anything behind you where you can spread the defense out. All you're doing is fucking running everything right there. You have guys hands all over the place. Every single catch is contested. Every single catch is going to be fucking
should have
no
quarterbacks
ability to turn it upfield and score anywhere.
Listen, Mike, I'm really glad that you brought up that whole thing about being able to see the field and watch and focus in on it, because it was crazy, because you and I literally just kind of went like without even talking about it, we just fell into it. Like literally we were just like, yo, Mike, let's keep an eye on Andrew Thomas right now. And we would ignore the rest of the play because you're going to hear the crowd. You're going to see the replay. You're going to see where the guy ends up anyway. And we would focus in on the left tackle. We would focus in on Neal. How was he really getting beat outside? Was he getting bull rushed? So you were able to really sit there and figure it out. Then, I started paying attention a little bit more so. And like I started getting back to the days when I was coaching, and you would start to look from like being up top in the box. You'd start to see this kind of shit. It was getting to a point where like, dude, they had everybody within the 10 yards. Like the fucking safety was inside the 10 yards. It was insane, dude. It was like they almost had fucking 11 in the box on us. And like no one could get separation. The corners from Dallas had no fucking fear of bodying up these wide receivers of ours. Yeah, maybe Galladay in the beginning, they were a little hesitant. That's why you didn't see so much pressure in the first opening drive. And that's why we were able to move the ball so well down the field, because there was a little standoffness. But then when they realized that Galladay is trash, and by the way, I am done with bashing him. He is dead to me. Okay. He is dead to me.
We come out the other side, guys.
I got that shit out of my system. And it's like in a Bronx Tale. All right, man. We'll use that way. How much did it cost you? $5? So guess what? He's out of your life for $5. Get a guy that's out of my fucking life. All right. That's how I feel about that bomb. All right. Enough of him wasting my fucking time and energy on his ass. But with all that said, but no, it was a great way to see it. Like, and it almost made me miss watching these games live, especially when I can go there with someone that's going to literally sit there and do the same thing with me, where like he's watching one end of the line, I'm watching the other, and we can literally break it down without having to like do research and find film and tape to do the same thing at home. It was so much better to do that shit live with the crowd and everything else behind it. So that like kind of brought me back, and it's true. Look, dude, I just cannot. I'm beside myself that it's now 3 fucking years in a row. Say what you want about the line. Say that the interior got blown up. It did and it didn't. Look, Neal looked like a rookie, okay? And DeMarcus Lawrence is a veteran pass rusher. And he took advantage of a fucking rookie, all right? That's it. The fucking veteran had the day. You know what? When we play them again on Thanksgiving, let's see fucking DeMarcus Lawrence really light up on fucking Neal by then. If that's the case, then you could start saying bust. You could start pumping all that other bullshit. Let the kid get some fucking game under his belt, all right? Bottom line, all right? So I'm not even fucking saying I saw Neal. Look, man, he didn't like drop that step back that you see like Tom is doing on the left side, where he knows how to take that perfect fucking opening step to get the defender that's trying to run around him. Neal's got to work on that. That's technique. That should be corrected in practice.
Thomas got quick feet, man. Thomas got one of the quickest feet I've ever seen on a left tackle.
He does, man. It's impressive, and that was some of the things that Trainer and I were like focusing in on during the game. Without the excitement, and then the Bears kicked in, and then we were in the suite with Rodney Hampton's family. Shout out to them, because that shit was good, man. The majority of every one of them we met were fucking awesome. We were having a great time with them. I think I met a couple of his brothers, definitely a couple of his nephews. They were all good people. We were chilling with that. And then like literally we went back inside to start the third quarter. We're kind of inside for most of the third quarter. And I couldn't take it anymore. I'm fucking running around and I don't know what to do. I'm bouncing off the walls and shit. The Bears not helping enough. And I go running outside like fucking Barkley busted it through the line to see him break that run. And literally he scores that touchdown in our end zone. I'm fucking going nuts. I'm yelling at fucking Cowboy fans in other sections. I'm trying to leap over and do the craziness. I turn around and Ronnie Hampton's fucking standing right behind me, give me a high five and shit. I'm like, yo, that's fucking sick, dude. And then I look at his brother that I got the pictures off of, and I was like, yo, I left the pictures at the bar. And Ronnie's like, man, don't worry about it. Go get them. I'll sign them. You're good. I was like, what? Ran aside, grabbed Mike. We got autographs. I said, like, yo, at this point, we're winning. I'm like, yo, we got this. It's going to be a fucking great day, baby. I can't wait. And then we all saw the fucking fourth quarter unfolded with and it just goes to
Jules,
show you. Yeah.
The turning point in that fourth quarter. Am I right, guys? When they didn't challenge that fourth down, that ball was fucking short. God. When Dallas ran on the field to go get that snap, I'm like, why ain't you throwing
it quick? Dallas got it off quick too. The next play.
Dude, I mean, that's the fastest
I've seen a football team get a playoff.
I blame it. Throw the flag immediately. If you see them running to the line like that, you know they didn't get it.
Like usually you have to wait for the refs to set and fucking whatever, and then you got to line up. The whistle's got to blow. You got to snap it. It would like none of that happened. I don't even know if the fucking refs were 100% set. You know what I'm saying? Like it was such bullshit. I never saw it run off that quick ever. And they fucking, of course, get it up. We don't get to replay it, man. We saw, bro, they were fucking short. I don't give a shit. That was down on our fucking side of the end zone where we were. We saw that shit as day. Unless, and I kept saying to Mike, I was like, yo, unless he got like some miracle fucking spot, the ball was in his arms. His helmet went across the first down line, sure. But that was it. Not his fucking shoulder pads, not the ball, his fucking helmet. And they knew it, and they ran it. And how they got that play off is mind-boggling because, yo, honestly, it literally would have just, like, I don't even think the guys up top had enough time to fucking radio down the table and be like, bro, challenge. Like, they didn't even get a chance to fucking, like, they were like, wait, where's the set? Where's the ball? And Dallas snapped that shit already. And, yo, you see, and this is what kind of bothered me about that game. Look, I know there was questionable calls on both sides. I know, you know, there was a couple of times the Giants got away from maybe pass interference. You know, there was a couple of things we got away with, I have to admit. But there was a lot of key fucking calls that just went Dallas's way, man. And that was one of them. I mean, when do you see a team rushing to get that play off when it is that close and they got the spot? You know, the head judge always slows that down for a second because he's like, yo, I want to make sure the line judge got it right. You know what I'm saying? They always do. No, not in this case. And it went, and there was no flag, and there was no challenge, and it was no. It was like, yo, like, are you guys like just trying to let these motherfuckers win? So you're right, Mike. That was definitely the turning point. But the other thing to that was, even when we had that little glimmer of hope, because we hung on to the end, we stayed there. We watched the seconds go down to 0. And you know, when I saw and then realizing that that's what had fully occurred was David fucking Sills fucking faking himself out, running a route, falling down, Jones delivering the ball, and then what we thought wasn't an interception, I confirmed with a couple of people afterwards who were watching at home that Diggs literally, the reason why it bounced, because it looked like it hit the field to us, right? It was went into his chest. It was his fucking hand. Like, wow. As much as I gave him shit all fucking night long, hell of an interception there.
Bro, you could feel though too. Like I'm probably on television too because you always feel it, but fucking Jerry Jones owns these fucking refs, man. The amount of times that the Giants got a big play called back, bro, was bananas. The amount of times that I think it was 2 separate occasions where the Dallas did something egregious, and then all of a sudden, like 7-8 seconds later, you see a fucking another yellow flag come out, penalty on the Giants, offsetting fucking flags, and negated a big play for the Giants. It was unbelievable how many times that fucking happens with them. And being there watching it live, and especially the beginning of the game yesterday, I was like, bro, it's the same old shit, bro. It doesn't matter if we're in fucking Jerry's World, we're in MetLife. This crew is getting a fucking Christmas bonus because of the man sitting in the visitors owner's box, bro. It's disgusting.
I think the game was won and lost in the trenches. I think Dallas beat us up on both sides of the ball. Defensively, the Giants didn't get any pressure. We had both our pass rushers back. Leonard Williams was really because they ran right on us. Pollard had a big run. You know what I mean? They were running up the gut. And I don't know if Dexter Lawrence, he's definitely not as good as Leonard Williams. But there wasn't really an impact by our 2 young defensive ends or pass rushers. And their offensive line, they got Jason Peters, old man Peters, who's 45 years old. Then you have the rookie on the left side, and they like held their ground. Cooper Rush had time. You know what I mean? They're a lot better than what Daniel Jones's offensive line gave them. So, and then if you want to flip it, our offensive line, other than Thomas, who is my favorite player on this team, our interior offensive line is trash. Feliciano sucks. Brett this year, but it's still not good. Who's on the other side? Glowinski, he's been a bit of inconsistent disappointment. He's been okay, but you know what I mean? He gets beat too, though. He gets penalties too. And it's like, we made Lawrence, he was good, years ago. He's older now. We made the guy look like he was, I don't know, like he was like 5 years young or something. Like the guy had 3 sacks. That's ridiculous. And Micah Parsons was sick. They turned on TV. They made Micah Parsons. They compared it to the flu game because he was sick. They put it up with Jordan. Everybody in the bar like, you gotta be kidding.
He had the one fucking tackle and did nothing else, right?
Yeah, you gotta be kidding me. But I gotta tell you,
get around Thomas. Like
their defensive line beat our offensive line, and their offensive line beat our defensive line, and that was consistent pretty much the entire game. And that's the difference.
I gotta disagree with you on one point here.
Go ahead.
You're right. It was in the trenches, but not like you think. All right. Because if I tell you right now, you mentioned Pollard, you mentioned fucking, Zeke scoring a touchdown. How much more do you think that Dallas outrushed us? I don't look up any stats or anything like that. Right. It almost sounds, you would think it was significant. Like they outrushed us by how many yards would you think?
Well, because Jones had a rushing day.
But I'm just saying, right? But if you're winning in the trenches, you're winning in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
So that's my point. The Dallas rush combined with Pollard and Zeke for 178 yards. Jones and Barkley combined for 160. They both have a touchdown each, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Dallas scored, we scored. The difference, the huge difference, was our defensive line did nothing. We had no sacks, hardly any pressures, no hurry-ups. Versus 5 sacks and 18 hurries. Are you kidding me? That's where it was on that thing right there. Because look, when we had to run the ball, we crushed it on that D line. We could not protect in the pass. And I said it during the summer. We look great running the ball, run our offensive line. It does. It looks fucking phenomenal. But they just can't pass block as a unit. They just cannot. It's the stunts. I don't know what it is. Maybe because, and you mentioned fucking the right guard, whatever. Look, sometimes guys are trying to pick up for somebody else getting beat. So Neil had a bad game. All of a sudden that starts trickling down. It's like a snowball effect. Once one thing starts to occur, everything starts to play into place. You know what I'm saying? So Neil had a bad game. He was exposed by a veteran rusher in a game where we weren't game planning for him because the game plan was stop number 11. Don't let him get to the fucking quarterback. And you forget about some of these other guys, and you were leaving Neil on an island with a veteran who just fucking took the rookie to school. That's called fucking playing in the fucking big leagues. Shit happens all the fucking time. You know what I'm trying to say? What do you think? Kobe stepped on the court day one and he was getting schooled a little bit in the NBA? Of course he was. Jordan had to earn his shit coming up the first couple of seasons. Yeah, he made noise, but he wasn't fucking some stud like we all know as the GOAT. No, you got to fucking, you're a rookie. You're going to, it's growing pains. And that's what we saw last night.
Listen, I mean, we just broke in an offensive tackle. We're finally at right now, this point, 2 years and 3 games in, finally reaping the rewards of making it to the other side with an offensive tackle. Sure, it's possible that he comes out and instantaneously was a fucking gargoyle out there. That's great. But that's not the norm, and it doesn't mean that his career is over. It's super fucking unfortunate that DeMarcus Lawrence is such a fucking asshole, the way he talks, the way he fucking just clowns the Giants.
You heard the little Eli comment?
Oh, my God, bro. Every time for years is all he's done. I can't wait to play the Giants. I can't wait to play the Giants. And he just always just has his fucking career games against us. And I don't understand how all these years that this guy's been fucking being a Giant slayer, not one Giant has ever took it upon himself to fucking lay this motherfucker out and shut his mouth once and for all. He's been playing for the Cowboys for like 7 or 8 fucking years. Lay this motherfucker out. How many times he's got to fucking say some shit to you in the newspaper, for ESPN, for all these fucking places, and you just let him play with your fucking booty hole. Stop it already. Stop it. Break his fucking leg on Thanksgiving and stop it already. End his fucking shit right fucking now. Lennon Williams, I know you listen to this podcast. Fucking do it, bro. Take the fucking fine. Fuck that motherfucker.
Everybody hates him.
No, listen, you know what? Look, we got to play them again at Thanksgiving. And I hope that Dak is healthy and Dalton Schultz is healthy and Meek is not fucking get the flu. I mean, yeah, I mean, like Michael Jordan. I don't want none of that bullshit. Because if we come out, we fucking beat you on Thanksgiving. All this shit meant fucking nothing. So go fuck yourselves, all right? That's how I feel at Dallas fans. Because, I think sometimes these Cowboy fans forget. You play us twice, motherfuckers. It ain't like you ain't going to see us till the fucking playoffs or next year. You're going to fucking see us in fucking a couple of months, motherfuckers.
I think that they do know they play us twice, and they look forward to the 2 W's because the Giants just lay down and Jerry Jones just pay us the fucking rest. End that shit, bro. Fucking end that shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
The difference is we were home though. At Thanksgiving, we're going to their house. So
yeah, and it'll be better. More people will be watching fucking us abused fucking Cowboys at Jerry World.
Let's go.
All right, because listen, let's put it this way too. Don't those Thanksgiving games get considered to be prime time? Right? Isn't that kind of considered a prime time game?
Yeah.
Right?
It's a
or you have to
standalone
play
game.
the night game for it to be a prime time game. I don't fucking know how they come up with that. But I think it's kind of one, right? And the point is that now Jones is what, 0-9 in primetime games, right? Right, because he was 0-8 going into last night. Point is that he at the end of the day, it's still a professional team. He's still a professional athlete. He's not going to go 0-35. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's going to fucking win a game.
We're going to win one.
Like, that shit's coming, dude. That's all I'm saying.
I got to just say, I don't mean to bring the podcast down in any way, shape, or form, but one of my good buddies who is a Monsters Giants fan, Richie Gill, great man. He is the closest approximation to what would be considered a knight in shining armor in the modern era. We lost Richie yesterday to a few-year battle with the fucking ridiculous disease cancer. But as a Giants fan, as someone who's called me brother multiple times, put his arm around me, fucking as he's a little bit older than us. I just have to have to shout out Richie Gill and Davina and the whole family. We got the wake on Thursday. I don't know if anybody listens to the podcast who knows Richie, but he was a great guy, and I just feel like I can't not say, bring him up. He just passed away yesterday right before the game. And he was as big a Giants fan as any of us are. So rest in peace. Rest in peace, Richie.
Sorry to hear that.
Yes, that's terrible, man. Rest in peace, man. Let's on that though, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, we are back on the BBO NYG podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's Sean. Special guest Vin is in the building. Guys, do you even want to even talk about that shit show yesterday? You just want to move on to Chicago because Chicago's coming down, and if Chicago's not that great, we could beat them because the way our defense plays, we could stop Justin Fields. And now if we go 3-1, does the hype train go back? Oh my God, we just need a wide receiver. Tony's gonna play this week. We're good. Everything changes week to week in the NFL. Everybody knows it. So let's try to stay positive. If we beat the Bears next week, which I think we will, I might actually put them in my survivor pool. I think because they're at home, Giants are at home. I mean, I ain't betting on Justin Fields in that fucking offense. That looks like complete shit. Especially if Tony plays, then I'm all in on the Giants because we need some kind of wide receiver that creates space. Give us something.
You need playmakers. You just got to get guys who make more plays than the team across from you. The Cowboys went and they made a lot more. Their players made more plays than the Giants players made. And that's what you need. So if it's Tony, I mean, we fucking use the first round pick on the guy. He is oozing with fucking just game breaking talent. But it's like this jewel that's been locked in this fucking glass case that you can see the jewels in there, but you just can't actually fucking grab it. And eventually we're going to have to figure out a way to shatter that glass and get this guy on the field and let him fucking play 60 snaps a game and see what he can really do. Because if not, he's going to go somewhere else, and likely he'll fucking find that somewhere else. Who knows?
Dominate.
But yeah, man, football's a week-to-week league. So if in 6 days from now we're sitting here and the Giants are 3-1, we're going to feel great. And, we're probably going to be not thrilled to go play Aaron Rodgers, but we'll find the reason to believe that they could win that game. They're flying across the world, this and that. And who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But we need to fucking go Giants right now.
Is Leonard Williams going to be ready for Chicago?
Probably not.
I don't know.
Oh,
That's his first game he missed in like 144 games or some shit.
That's a huge question mark. Look, I get it.
It's at least 3 weeks, I would think. At least.
But no, Herbert's going to be the backup playing for Chicago. There's no what's his name?
Yeah.
Well, no,
he just ran for
out.
149 yards this past week against Houston, who had a pretty decent run defense. All right, so he fucking they can pound the ball, right? There's a reason why we all thought it was just because of a monsoon that Chicago was only throwing the ball 17, 18 times a game. No, that's the strategy that this fucking offense seems to be approaching with, where they're just going to play old-fashioned football. They're going to throw when they have to, and they're going to just pound. And Herbert's a capable back. He might even be better than Montgomery. It's fucking close. I think Montgomery is a better pass-catching back, but when it comes to rushing between the tackles, they're about the same on par, so they don't really lose much with that. For whatever fucking reason, whether it's the gods, whether it's fucking just bad luck, whether it's a combination of all of them, Chicago's had a fucking number lately, fellas. All right, like they just have. We don't fucking beat this team. I don't get it.
Ago. What do you mean?
Oh, what? It was like 5 years ago. You know, like
no,
seriously.
It was sooner than that. I think we beat them recently.
What?
Yeah. I think we played them a few times. We played, I think, each of the last 3 seasons. I think last season we lost to them, and the season before we won.
No, the season before that was Barkley. All right, so that's already 2 in a row. And
no, that was 2019 Barkley. That's 3 years ago.
No, but all right, no, because he came back last year from the injury, and then he got hurt again down the stretch.
He
This
came
is
back
his
2
first full
years
year.
Yeah,
come on, stay with me. You know,
2019 he got hurt. 2020 he came back. That's when they won. 2021 they lost, and now we just play them, and we're going to play them in 2022.
So how about
they won 2 years ago?
When was his draft? 18, right?
Yeah,
18.
Right. 19.
So 18 he played a full season. I don't even know. They may have played them.
Might have been the year we won. That's the year we won. 20 we lost because of his injury. 21 we definitely lost, and here we are in 22.
Right. That's
he didn't
right.
get injured.
And I don't know. And that's saying that we played him 4 years straight now.
You're thinking about the ankle injury.
Well, no, that was against Dallas, and then whatever. He came back a little bit from there. But I'm talking about when he hurt his knee week 2 against the Bears.
2020.
That was 2020. That's what.
No, it wasn't. It was 2019. It was 2019, guys. I'm telling you.
All right. Anyhow, all I'm saying
in 2020. Oh, you know what? 2020. Yeah, 2020. Me too. You're right. You're right.
So we're playing the Bears for a 4th year in a row. Then yeah, all right, I got you guys. Because if not, we're down 2 of them already, and I don't think we played them 4 seasons in a row.
So we're due. So we're due then.
Oh yeah. The ankle
we might be. That's the point. But the point is, it's like for whatever reason, this fucking team got our number. Like Carolina, we got theirs.
Yeah.
You know, you get on those runs, right? Like it just happens. So we got to overcome that, and we also got to see how this team bounces back from a loss, right? And we're going to be doing this without our key run stopper in Williams. And look, you saw the way old Jalari played. You saw the way Thibs played. They don't look up the game speed. I don't know if they were working them in slow. They didn't want to push them too hard. But whatever it is, that's what we saw. Hopefully they're on track by next week, because if not, and they're half-assed, and you got Lauren, you got Leonard Williams at like not 100%, we're gonna be in for a game, man. And now, just real quick to flip the board to the offensive side of things, when you look at Kadarius Toney, sure, kid's full of fucking tons of athleticism. There's no denying that. Okay, the kid's an athletic freak, but so was Shepard. People forget Sterling Shepard was probably like, if he was like, on any other team, 100% healthy throughout his career, that dude would have been a fucking top-notch wide receiver. Because anytime he was healthy and played, he was always fucking good. It's just that the guy couldn't stay healthy. You were lucky to get 5-6 games out of him out of an entire year. But those 5-6 games, I guarantee you 3 or 4 of them were fucking stellar fucking wide receiver numbers. And the guy just couldn't stay healthy. So Toney could be as fucking ridiculous as he want, and he may not pick up the playbook or whatever the fuck excuses we were making for him. But the bottom line is the kid can't get on the field. He can't get on the field. So whether or not it's his conditioning or he's just one of those unfortunate people that end up getting hurt all the time, that could be the fucking story and the narrative for him. That without him being on the field and being healthy for consecutive games, I can't look at him as anything else but being a bust at this point.
About the Bears game, I think there's one name that stands out to me that the Bears have that I think is scarier than Justin Fields, Herbert, whoever the hell they have, and that's Roquan Smith. I think that guy is an animal. And with this offensive line, especially interior, how vulnerable we are, can Neal bounce back? I think Roquan Smith can have himself a day. You know what I mean? And he he was like top 3 in defensive player of the year last year, I think. You know what I mean? Like he is in the last few years. He wants out of Chicago for good reason, but I think he's the guy we got a game plan for, the guy we got to key in on, because he can really screw up any sort of victory of ours. On Tony, I haven't been a fan since the day he was drafted. I think he's a head case. I think he cares about other things other than football. The injuries are a lot. I think they're hiding things. I think personally, he's unintelligent. I think he's stupid. I think he does not know how to run a route. I think he plays backyard football. You give him the ball, he starts running backwards and dancing because he's pure athleticism. I think the guy is, the way he cuts, I could argue he cuts crazier than Saquon on certain plays. It's mind-boggling to see him. But we've seen blips of it, small blips. He's got no work ethic. He doesn't care. He tweeted out today something. He spelled Ken wrong. I don't know if he meant to do that. He spelled C-A-N, Ken, K-A-N. I don't know if that's like his little rapper talk. I don't know if that's like the way he did that on purpose or he did that. Yeah. Like, I don't know. But I just think this regime is not a fan of him. I think, he's interesting. He was talking about the turf, Shepherd play going down. He was talking about how the turf is really tight and stuff like that. And he's like, we can't play on this field or whatever. He tweeted something like that. I just think he's going to be unavailable to us a lot. You know what I mean? And the guy, I don't know what to do with Galladay because Galladay's stuck with us.
Dead.
And I'd rather get, you know what? I was like, yo, Dable, it's great. You're benching him. Screw him. He's going to be in the doghouse. The media is going to get after him. The fans are going to get after him. Maybe he'll work harder. After yesterday, I agree with you, Jules, on a level where it's like, yo, get this guy out of my face. But then I look at what we have, which is not much, and it's only week 3, and we're 2-1, where 7 teams make the playoffs. I'm not ready to mail it in and talk draft yet. So what I say is put Galladay the fuck out there. Let's go, Galladay. Earn it. Let's go. You're going to play every goddamn play, and you're going to do it. You could have a frown. You could have a smile. Get the fuck out there because you are the only one that can stretch the field. And we, like you guys said earlier, which from home, I didn't really see that. You know what I mean? You guys brought it. That was a great point on your end. I'm like, Galladay needs to stretch the field. Get up the damn field. Whatever, create some sort of decoy. I know he's not as good anymore. Stretch things out. Or the guy we forgot about is Slayton. Slayton scored 8 touchdowns.
Stop talking so I can bring him up.
Yo, he scored 8 touchdowns his rookie year. He's done it on this level. Like, I'm sorry, David Sills never done it on this level. I don't know if he can hack it. The rookie Bellinger, Bellinger's slow as shit, but I'm a fan. He makes catches. And then you have Richie James, who's gonna get you like 4 or 5 catches for like 50 yards. Is he a red zone threat? We'll never see that guy score a touchdown. You know what I mean? I think Slayton might be critical here. We were talking, trade him. He might have to turn to because he might be our best option. Go ahead, John. I know you wanted to.
What'd you say, Vin? Who's our best option? Slayton. Yeah,
Slayton. I think Slayton. My Wi-Fi is acting funny tonight. I think Slayton might be an interesting option for us. He might because he's done it before.
Oh, let's fucking
come on, guys. Like, yo, now we're repeating fucking 2020, fucking going into that season.
Wait, but Jules, what else we gonna do?
Fucking wide receiver, like, bro, stop.
What do you want to do?
We were laughing about him over the summer and making him a wide receiver 7. We're like, it's like he's a wide receiver 7, baby. Trade him. Woo!
Alex Bachman turned us down to come back.
Man. The point of the matter is this. We drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and he's turning into what we call a bust, okay? This year, we drafted a wide receiver in round 2. I can't call him a bust yet. The kid got hurt. It's a fluke injury. Let's give him a little time. I mean, you take a wide receiver like Amon St. Brown, kid's a fucking animal, and he didn't get fucking going until like week 10 of last year. So give that dude Robinson some time, all right? And then we made the worst fucking signing in New York Giants history by bringing in Kenny Galladay, okay? So that's where the problem lies because those 3 guys currently are unavailable. And now you start going down to the fucking next level. And Shep was there, man. He was stepping up, so you thought it was going to be okay. But you still had to mix in the Sills and the fucking Richie Jameses of the world and all this fucking nonsense. And it shows. It fucking shows, man. Like, you cannot play with these fucking guys, dude. It's just
What do you want to do, Jules? What's the move here?
honestly, the move is that fucking these other dudes got to fucking play. Like Galladay, get your fucking head out of your ass and play.
I would play Galladay. He has to play.
Like, enough already, bro.
He has to play.
Like he's all fucked up mentally.
Right, but that a one good game can fix that problem. You know what I mean? Like if you're a baseball player in a slump, you have one good game where you go fucking 3 for 4 with a couple singles and a fucking homer. You're gonna feel much better about the game going, and you're probably gonna break your slump. And that could just be the same thing with Galladay. But I like the poetic nature of Slayton coming back. You know, when Daniel Jones and him both were drafted in the same draft class and came in together, it was cool to see two rookies, you know, have success with each other right out of the gates like that. 8 touchdowns, leading the league as a 5th-round pick, and Daniel Jones being the most hated on quarterback that may have ever been drafted in the history of football. That's a real fact, especially by his own fan base. That's got to be true. But I would like it would be cool to see, because I think Slayton has talent. I don't think that he's a bad football player. I don't think that he's going to be the reason why you're going to be winning games per se. But if he could be a starter, you got Ricky James, you have fucking, you know, Wan'Dale Robinson coming back probably in a couple of weeks. You mix in him and Galladay, you mix in fucking David Sills, and at least you might have an acceptable, you know, top 23, top 20 receiving corp. That hopefully that's good enough with Saquon Barkley in the running game, offensive line clicking. It'll carry us into the playoffs. Dude, I don't think anybody's under any disillusions that we're going to be winning a Super Bowl this year, but we still are Giants fans. We still want to see this team win games. I don't give a fuck about drafting a quarterback next year. I want to see them win games.
If I could say, Slayton, we need a guy that stretches the field and goes over the top. I think if it's not Galladay, Slayton's the only one in that wide receiver.
So everybody has amnesia, right? Because we forget Slayton breaking down the fucking field wide open against Washington last year. Right in the fucking
since that game, he's been mentally screwed up. But what are we gonna do? These are the guys we have.
Boy, he got so mentally screwed up that he can't even get himself back on the field. He can't get over fucking starting over Sills and Richie James. Come on, guys. It's not the Slayton that he was when he was a rookie.
Let me ask you guys this question. This is for all of you. Would you, let me pose this right. Would you guys be interested in trading say a 6th or 7th round pick for like a Denzel Mims?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, 6 or 7 round picks for sure. 6 to 7 round picks, I feel like, are monopoly money. The chances of you actually getting anything of value with it are almost zero anyways. So if you're going to trade, if a team is willing, stupid enough to take an actual football player, an NFL caliber football player, and get rid of a 6th-round pick, which 95% of the time turns into nothing more than a practice squad player.
Good thing I'm not a GM. I'll give him a first for Sims right now tonight. I want Sims on this fucking squad.
Mims from Jets.
Mims. That's what I bet.
You like him that much?
Yeah, dude, he's fucking good, man. Jets got wide receivers. I don't know about that, bro. He can't crack that fucking thing, man.
No, but like the Jets literally drafted him, and then they went out and got another fucking receiver, and then got another receiver, you know, like, and it signed the free agent. Yeah, no. Like,
I could be wrong. All right, I'll give him a 2nd round then. How about a second round
pick? You know what I mean? Like, if we have one of those laying around.
Get Mims over here, man. I'll take Denzel.
One of the nice things. Oh, excuse me. Just talking weeds fucking strong. One of the nice things about where the Giants are right now is they are a team that's building, but they are a team that's also capable of winning games and have shown that in 2 of the first 3 weeks. But they have clear, defined holes that need to be filled that I think with the cap space that we have available next year and the draft class, I think there's a possibility that they can fill a lot of those holes pretty quickly. And next year might be a year where we can be truly competitive for the division. And, who knows if maybe better than that, making a deep playoff run. Okay. If they hold on to Jones, if they feel like Jones, because I think everybody gets lost in this, like, well, the only headlines are either they get released to quarterback or they get signed to some fucking $50 million contract. that's what grabs the headlines, but that doesn't mean that that's 100% of what happens in the NFL or that's going to be applicable to Daniel Jones. There's a world where they may not love or feel like they're in a position to get whatever quarterback they feel like is worth drafting. So it would make sense at that point to give Daniel Jones, because what is he going to do? He's going to say, you know what, I'm fucking retiring unless I get $45 million a year. No. And he's going to want to go to another team, possibly, but maybe not. I could see him going to Carolina, but he may get a contract that's pretty reasonable for a year or two, where it's not going to break the bank, which gives us money elsewhere to spend on the team, on the roster. And you bring him back for a year or two. You have Saquon under a franchise tag, which isn't going to cost us a ton of money, and you can fill some of the holes next year. You know, if this team can continue winning games and learn how to win games for a whole season, next year might be a really fun season to see. Yep. Or it could be like Joe Judge and implode basically by week 4.
What do you think? Like, say Daniel Jones, right? If you replace Kirk Cousins in Minnesota with Daniel Jones, wouldn't you think Daniel Jones would light it up there in Minnesota with that receiver?
I think he would light it up anywhere with a decent offensive line.
No,
you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Because I think Cousins sucks, and if you put Jones there, like, at least he won't fucking do nothing stupid like Kirk Cousins does. I don't know. That was my thought I had before.
I think he'd be the same quarterback. I can't say.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he'd be the same. He's a little younger, so maybe he scrambles better. You know, and he can run. He'll have a little more rushing, so he'll be a little bit more of a threat in that sense. But that's really it.
Well, maybe that's what the Giants need to do.
A little thing, bro.
They need to do more read option with Daniel Jones. He's the guy that's leading the team in rushing pretty much week to week now.
And he's not the first time that he's led the team.
Well, no, Barkley, guys, is a beast. Stop, guys. Barkley is really ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
First time he's led the team.
He's actually number 1 in fantasy points right now.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like, let's not make it seem like Jones is doing all this craziness. Look, is Jones
what
looks like
what Jones is doing, though? We have to acknowledge, especially even yesterday, when the plays were breaking down and they had to have a first down, he found a way with his legs to get it. And you can't just like brush that off because it's like, it's. I think it's not sexy. I don't want to use those words per se, but you know what I mean. Like it's not like traditionally what you want your quarterback to do. But
why not? That's what fucking Jalen Hurts does every fucking play.
Right, but when it counts, he's doing. So I think if he goes to a place that actually has wide receivers that stay healthy, can run routes, get open, and catch the ball consistently, he's a good enough quarterback that he would absolutely be a better quarterback than on probably 14 to 16 teams on this in the NFL right now. They would be better off with Daniel Jones as their quarterback. At least that many.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm in the minority in this room about it. I think Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback in this league. I don't think he's a starter. I'm sorry. I don't see it. The guy averages less than 200 yards every game. I know, he doesn't throw any touchdowns. He does not score. He does not throw. And he gives you one solid drive every game. You know what I mean? One drive. I don't see.
Maybe 2.
I don't see it. I think Jones is. I get it. There's a lot of shit around him. The owner said, we fucked him up. I get all that. But at the end of the day, you were drafted 6th. We overdrafted him. You know what I mean? And we need to come to grips with that. And we need to go, we're in quarterback hell, and we need to look for the next quarterback. If I'm the GM, I would continue drafting quarterback after quarterback after quarterback till you fucking find one, because I want Mahomes. I want Josh Allen. I want elite, because I know I'll get into the playoffs every year. You know what I mean?
How do you do that though? In real
draft,
life,
I would draft them nonstop. I would be fired.
What's nonstop? What is that nonstop? Every year you're using a first round pick on a quarterback?
Draft another fucking quarterback till you find the one that just pops right off the page.
6th rounds or like the 2nd and 1st rounds?
I think all the Hall of Fame quarterbacks mostly come out of the 1st round. So I would go high.
Really? So Go came out of the round 6.
How would you build a team though if you're using, let's say, 33% of your first 2 round picks on quarterbacks every year? Like, how do you fill the roster with talent elsewhere to be able to know if your quarterback is worthy?
I'll just combat that by saying you don't win in this league without a quarterback. It's completely predicated on quarterback. And until you find one,
I'm pretty sure the Eagles won their only Super Bowl with a fucking backup quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. You need a team around them too.
Put that one out there. All right.
If they had Wentz on an MVP,
all the credit in the world, he went everywhere and they had shit the bed. So
they had Wentz on an MVP year.
Rockefeller.
You know, when he finally got hurt. You know what I mean?
Wentz
But did they have Wentz on an MVP year and then he got hurt, or did they have a Super Bowl caliber roster that allowed a quarterback to flourish?
Well, obviously it's a team game, but for me, you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a prayer, and that's the fact of it. You know,
all right,
what I mean?
but listen,
Would you agree that? Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry, you haven't really said much. Go ahead.
well, like I'm just saying, John, like it's like if you look at the top 10 to 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, what do they all have in common, right? There's two things. They've been in the system multiple years. The exception is Russell Wilson. Look at Russell Wilson now in a new system. He looks like shit. But all the others, top guys, they've been in the system for like 3, 5, 10 years. They know they master because it takes like 3 years to master an offensive system. So really, people are going to shit on Jones after 2.5, 3 games. Like that doesn't sit well with me. And another thing, all these top 10 to 15 quarterbacks, they all got a legit number 1 wide receiver. And guess what? We don't. If the NFL's that game, if an NFL's a quarterback game, you still need a wide receiver to throw the fucking ball to. If you're throwing no names and these guys are dropping the balls, it lets the whole team down. So you can't really judge Jones on that. But I do get the whole frustration about Jones. He's like, oh, he sucks. But when he's making mistakes, when he's making a lot of mistakes, Daniel Jones, over the past few years, it's when he was desperately trying to make a play. And that was the problem. So he can't really have
pretty much his entire career. When has he been in a position where he's able to sit back and just carve up a defense?
His rookie
when has he
year.
ever played with a lead?
His rookie
Okay,
year.
so then why
That was
can't
it.
why haven't we built anything around them then? How come we haven't built anything around them? And like I'm at a point too where it's been fucking 5 years, guys, right? Or 4 years, whatever the fuck it is, right? How are we not? How has it been a mistake after mistake after mistake of building around this fucking guy? You understand what I'm saying? We tried to bring in fucking Kenny No Name. We tried to bring in the fucking number 1 draft pick in Tony and then another round 2 pick. Guys, it's not working. All right. Either it was very bad GM work, or it's a combination of bad GM work and Daniel Jones is not being that guy. I don't know. I root for the kid. Don't get me wrong. I root for him all the time.
I root for him too, but I don't see it.
That's just frustrating. Yo, how many times, Mike, last night alone was I screaming, throw the fucking ball, when he's just like running sideways and he's getting extra time. But you got to realize at a certain point, you got nothing. Throw it the fuck away. Come back. Let's rehuddle and get it going again.
He did, though. He did do that.
Much of that
Mike,
shit.
But he did do that.
Mike, week 1 against Tennessee.
Yep.
He made a huge mistake. He looked dead at Saquon, underthrew the ball, got intercepted. That game was over, Mike.
That's not true, though.
I know.
If you watch the breakdown of that play, that is not true. That's just been the narrative. If you watch the all 22, he looks straight ahead, looks to the left, looks back, and then looks and then throws the ball. That's not true at all. That's just the narrative because that's what's stuck.
The mistake is not on him, though.
No. The mistake is on him because of the positioning of the defender trying to throw a back shoulder throw. Sure, but the mistake wasn't him staring down the receiver. That's not the case. Now, that being said, all quarterbacks all the time make – how many interceptions does Joe Burrow have right now? There would be a line from my house to your house to Mike's to Jules' back to MetLife Stadium of grown men that would suck on a penis for Joe Burrow to leave Cincinnati and go play for the New York Giants for the next 12 years.
Joe Burrow just went to the Super Bowl on an improbable
run.
Right,
exactly.
That's the point. But now look at him.
All quarterbacks have a bad play. So if you're going to point a single play out saying, okay, even this year he had 1 bad throw or 2 bad throws that could have been an interception. One of them was caught. One of them wasn't.
No, my point is that he has more bad than good. He doesn't win games. He doesn't score. There's no touchdowns. Where are the touchdowns? You know what I mean?
What did we say earlier? You're looking at the receivers. No one's open.
No.
I think it's pass off accountability. That's what I think. What? I think he's got to take blame here. He does. He's the quarterback.
Sure, and he's going to, and the fact that his name has been dragged through the mud like no player in the history of sports ever has. He takes the weight of this. Accepts responsibility for it. His fans don't like him from the second he was fucking drafted. If Jones isn't paying the price for this team winning games, then I don't know what player has ever taken the price for any of his teams to ever lose games.
If Jones NFL in 2022,
guys, really quickly, hold up. Stop this conversation for a quick second, only because I have to interject one thing. All right. All of a sudden, we're going to put Garrett Wilson as being a true number 1 wide receiver. Is he? Or Elijah Moore? These are fucking standout wide receiver ones, right? because
No.
Joe Flacco threw for multiple touchdowns a couple weeks ago. Joe Flacco.
Flacco.
Tell you the
Won a
last
Super
game
Bowl.
that Daniel Jones threw for 2 touchdowns.
Super Bowl champion.
Say that. So don't give me this fucking. You
do you
cannot tell
mean?
me every
It
time
was-
this man steps on the
It
field.
was week 1 of this year. He threw for
Touchdown
multiple
pass.
touchdowns.
Huh?
What are you talking about? He threw for multiple touchdowns in week 1 this year.
Week 1?
Week
Against
2.
who?
Yeah.
Against who? What are you talking about?
Against
Fucking
the Titans.
He threw no multiple touchdowns. Barkley
Yes, he
ran one.
did.
Barkley ran one. We only scored 2.
He had 2 touchdowns
my
the
God.
other day, the week 1, bro.
No way. Daniel Jones? No way.
Yes.
He doesn't throw 2 touchdowns in a game.
He threw it to Sterling Shepard and then Chris Myrick at the end in the end zone at the end of the game.
Was that the 2-point he ran in?
Right. He threw 2 touchdowns one fucking 2 weeks ago.
2 touchdowns. He did, but for 188 yards.
He's a
188 yards, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yo,
But
it's
you're
bad.
looking at
It's
his-
bad.
if you're gonna look at it
So
through the
bad, dude,
spectrum
but, like,
of
that was
numbers,
almost
you're never going to be
believable.
impressed.
That was almost
You
believable.
can't look at a player that's playing in a system that's not conducive for big yardage, big plays, and fucking without the talent to fucking do it, and judge him solely based off of what you see in a spreadsheet. That's not this game. It's just not. And when you watch him play, when you see when he makes a mistake, right, throws an interception, gets the ball back, drives the team down for a touchdown to win the game against Tennessee, that's the mark of a good quarterback, and that's what he does.
Listen, the point is that the Giants have had dog shit for receivers. That's it. That's it. Now, I don't know if you want to call it the fucking curse of Odell. Maybe we can start calling it that instead of the fucking stupid fucking Bolt Miami fucking curse. Yes, ever since we traded Odell, whether it was the right thing or not, we have not had a fucking wide receiver that fucking played, can stay consistently playing, and been effective as a true number 1 wide receiver. We just haven't.
Hold the
And
tape.
We haven't had an offensive player do it.
It has nothing to do with that. But since that day, and that's why you have these fucking people that pop up out of the woodwork for Odell Beckham. It's just because that was the last name that you heard as a true number 1 wide receiver for the Giants. That's it. That's the only fucking reason why he's around. He comes to this team. Listen here, he will not be a fucking number 1 wide receiver. Just put that fucking shit to rest, all right?
All
so
right.
that's the point of it. But what I'm trying to say is that look, over the last
Wrap
few years, didn't matter when Eli was still playing because we're going back to Eli days at this point. We haven't fucking had anybody. It's frustrating. So what happens? You can't go around and start blaming dudes for getting hurt, right? No one knows what to do for Kenny Galladay. So what they do, they turn around, they blame the quarterback because guess what? Even when a team wins and they don't win because of their quarterback, Tom Brady, the first 2 Super Bowls, they get all the fucking credit.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
You got to take the good with the bad, and that's
Yes.
what Jones.
That's why they win MVP and go to Disneyland.
Yep,
But that's
exactly.
what it is.
That's why they'll go to Disney. All right, we got to stop this Jones conversation. It's going to make me mad. But we got to
Sorry,
go.
Mike.
Nah, it's all good. We got to go into the Haters Club portion of this podcast because it's going to bring back the Daniel Jones discussion. So, Haters Club time. No commercial break. Right into Haters Club. We got to wrap this up. We got to go Haters Club and the picks. So we got to
And
go.
it's the picks, rapid fire.
Welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics, complainers, disgruntled rappers, and racists especially, to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball. Oh man, hate.
So, Haters Club, I think I just got one nomination. I don't know if you guys do. We could just keep it at 1 this week if you don't. No big deal. But I got to nominate the Breaking Tackles Giant podcast at BT Giants. We have a little competitive nature right here. So last night, about 8 hours ago, the podcast put up like a little screenshot, a little video of Daniel Jones. It's like, oh, he did a lot of good here, but the frustrating part is that he doesn't put it all together. You got to hit Sills here over the middle. But meanwhile, like Jones was running for his life right up the middle. He's about to get clobbered. Sills is coming from his left, like way fucking late. So I'm just like, yo, dude, like you're nitpicking now. These people are just nitpicking on shit because you could do that for every goddamn quarterback in the NFL. People just love to pick on Jones because they don't like him. It's probably the product of Dave Gettleman drafting him. It's probably a product of like Gettleman trading Odell. And it's a product of the past fucking years of just shitty fucking offense that has been ruining the Giants, chances pretty much every game. So I gotta shout him out and as part of the haters club, man. I think all this nitpicking of Jones got to stop because, I mean, come on, man. This ain't Madden. You can't just fucking see that and don't expect things to fucking happen the right way. You only have pretty much an average of 2 seconds to throw the ball in the NFL. So give the fucking man a break at least. Let him play through this year and then see what happens. Okay. Just stop with all the nonsense.
And just to kind of piggyback on that real fast, just because it's about Daniel Jones and everything as well. Mine was going to be about Colin Cowherd because he was known for saying it and tweeted it out. He was like, Brian Dable has limitations and his name is Daniel Jones. And I'm like, dude, stop. All right. Like, and again, it goes back to my point what I just made that like you just want to blame the quarterback for everything. But the reality is that where the fuck is our second highest paid player on the team in Kenny Galladay? Second highest paid player. He's dead. That's where he is. All right. And our first and second round picks from this year and last year. So, I mean, bro, like if you're going to put everybody under the bus, and I'm pretty sure Dable said something along these lines, and I'm paraphrasing, is that he was like, look, it's not just an individual, it's everyone to blame. We all need to improve. We all need to sort of like step up, and there needs to be things done from a team perspective. And he's fucking right. So you know what? The Giants lost. Blame the fucking Giants as a team for fucking losing because we lost together. And that's what I say. So enough with the fucking pointing it out and saying that Dable's only problem is Daniel Jones. So yeah, I put Coward on the haters list this week.
I'm going to put Steve Tisch, John Mara, and the Johnson family for approving the designs for the ugliest fucking sporting stadium in America.
Yeah, it's fucking shit's a fucking big ass AC. All right,
bro, it's crazy. It's so big, like
you're right.
You
see
right. It from miles and miles away. They could have made like a fucking national symbol, and they fucking put an air conditioning system for a Giant in there.
I mean, if people
I fucking sell air conditioning systems. My whole life is paid for by air conditioning systems, and that shit is like a monument to my fucking craft. And it is the ugliest shit I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Well, if you got people working at it that are just quitting mid-game, yeah, you got a fucking issues in fucking MetLife.
Oh, can we talk about this really quick? The food in the fucking Corona place, the Corona Beach Lounge, bro, fake chicken fingers.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, just your face. Like you peel it apart, you know, like that like chicken paste that they fucking squeeze and then they just bread and fry. Like that's what that shit was, like McDonald's chicken nuggets. Disgusting. The fucking cheesesteak, disgusting, like gritty, disgusting fucking meat. I was like, bro, like I don't know how much people normally pay for these tickets, but if this is what the food you're getting for fucking this much money, like I would recommend go to a diner beforehand, eat to your heart's content, or obviously tailgate, and then fucking, but do not eat at the stadium. At least Yankee Stadium, like you get the chicken fingers and shit like that bucket of chicken fingers with fries. It's actually pretty fucking good. You're not eating healthy, obviously, but I mean, how do you get a chicken finger wrong? Like you make $1 billion a fucking year. You can't afford real chicken breast, bro.
I mean, I got to support you on that one too, because you're right. Like I was a little disappointed by the quality of food and the sweets. Right. You would think I get it. I understand that 90% or 80% of people are going to be fucking tailgating. But you would think on a Monday night game when people usually work and they don't have a whole bunch of time to go out tailgating, that they fucking come. And at least if you're in the fucking suite, you fucking might have some choice food like you do at Yankee Stadium, but whatever.
I'm not like a cheeseburger that would have been good. Like I got a cheesesteak. Like I wasn't expecting fucking filet mignon and lobster, like, and someone sucking my dick under the table. Like I just wanted a decent fucking meal. And you pay for it too. 2 beers, 4 chicken fingers, a fucking thing of fries, and a small cheesesteak was like $80. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
BJ better come with that fucking $80.
Yeah, at least a handy under the table.
Something. All right, we gotta stop. We gotta move on. This is
all right. We got
podcast been going on for a while.
Right.
So
we were all hyped up earlier in the fucking thing.
I didn't realize we're going on like an hour and a half now. So we got to do this. We're gonna take a real quick commercial break and go into the picks. We'll be right back on the BBO NYG podcast. All right, we are back on the BBO NYG podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's Sean, special guest Vince in the building to help us with the picks of the week we're going to do right now. Mike Birdie's still in the lead at 30.5, Rai 28.5, changes needed 24.5, MFT 23.5, and the BBO NYG 23.5. Then you got Woody in 16 and PA Test at 0. So right now we got to go into the picks. The very first game is the Thursday night game. Bengals are at home. They're -4 against the hot Miami Dolphins. I got to go with the Bengals here, man. The Bengals actually show me something. Miami, I think their little run comes to an end.
I agree, Mike.
Yeah, you know what? I got to go Bengals.
Dolphins are going for
I agree.
I thought you were
Bengals.
going to sway the other way, but you didn't. Van, who you like?
I like the Bengals at home.
All right, Bengals it is.
Yeah.
All right, next
That
game.
could be a Powerball one too, whatever it's called.
That could be
Yeah, that's
that
true.
could be that could be a sweet bet right there. All right, next game. Minnesota is away. They're minus 2.5 in New Orleans.
London. In London.
Yeah, the 9:30 game.
You got to because that changes everything. You got to at least sold fantasy real quick. Make sure you have your fucking lineup set. If you have anybody for the Vikings, like Justin Jefferson and fucking Cook and all those other guys, and then on the Saints side, Mike Thomas and Kamara and all that shit. So make sure you got them in either Saturday night or early Sunday morning. With that said, for me, looking at the way that both of these teams have been playing, they've been kind of hot and cold. It just gets weird in London, and for whatever reason, it becomes more of a running game. And I think Cook is banged up. Matson's a good fill-in. But if I got to go with the runner, Kamara's going to be healthy. The fucking tight end, whatever the fuck they call him, quarterback isn't playing. I think they're going to be able to run it. I like the Saints. I'll take the 2.5.
I like Minnesota.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Jonathan, where you guys at?
I like the Vikings in a close game. Very close game.
John?
I think Vikings, man.
All right. Vikings.
I am not using my override here. Okay?
All right. Good. All right, next game. Colts are at home. They're minus 3.5 against the Titans. I like the Colts. I think they're back.
I think the Titans. are going to bounce back. They won this week, but I think they're going to regain some form as far as being a pretty decent team in the AFC.
It's tough, man. Because they realize that they're playing for the division. I got to go with the home team, though. That's it. The Colts, they look like they got that back. They were able to knock off the Chiefs at home. And I kept saying that to you guys last week. I said, you're going to go play in that dome. It gets a little different. And that's what I think they have the advantage. And I think they squeak one out by the Titans. But that's going to be a fucking game.
Yeah.
In all respect, I wouldn't bet it for real.
Can I say tie?
Yeah, right.
You like the Titans?
Colts already got a tie, so.
Taylor versus Henry. I'm going to go two really good coaches. I don't know why. I'm going to say Tennessee will eat this out, maybe overtime. They win with a field goal.
All right. Heads or tails? Heads is Tennessee. Tails is Colts.
Flip it, because I ain't override. This ain't one of my overrides. So we established that you're allowed one override.
All right.
And when that team comes up, I'll give
it's
you
heads.
props.
Whose heads? What I say heads was?
Tennessee, I think.
All right. Colts.
I'm not overriding that one. That game's way too tight to call.
Coin flip. All right. Next game. Chargers, they're away, beat up, no line, injuries, ravaged. They're -5 against Houston in Houston. I actually like the Texans, man. They play close games.
I would be on all boards here if they would have beat Seattle. The fact that they fucking lost to Seattle, right? Houston lost to the Bears. Sorry, the Bears. That's right. My fault. They lost to the Bears. We were supposed to smoke guys. All right. They went and fucking lost to the Bears. All right. And here we are. This and that. And they got their guys. You know what? Brandon Cooks is better than any fucking wide receiver we got on our team. All right. Like, don't even fucking with that.
He's been traded like 15 times too.
I don't like the spread. That's what I don't like about this game. I think
it's weird.
I think it should be like 3 to cover. And that's the only reason why I'm nervous, because Herbert's playing with like fucking half a rib cage. So I don't really know how effective he is. And Eckler ain't that guy that can fucking run. You can put the ball in his hands and carry the fucking team. I think the Texans can keep it close, but I think the Chargers win. It's just a weird number. I hate betting on those 5 spread games. They annoy me.
John, Ben?
I go Texans too.
All right.
I got Chargers.
There we go. All right. Vin got Chargers. We're gonna make a note of it.
Well, Texas it is, right? Because Jules, you took the points. All right. Next game. Browns, they're away. They're -1.5 against Atlanta. Atlanta's playing hot, but I like the Browns, man. Browns got a good good running game. I think Browns win.
Yeah, I'm not buying this whole Marcus Mariota thing. Fuck this. It doesn't make sense to me. They got a fucking 31-year-old wide receiver converted to running back, and all of a sudden he's the fucking, best thing they got going. Kyle Pitts has still been fucking missing in action. Yes, Drake London's a beast. I like that kid. He's going to be a fucking stud, but I think the Browns are a better team right now, and that's what's going to make the difference, and they can go into Atlanta and win.
guys.
I actually, I'm gonna pick Atlanta here.
Finn,
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
Browns. I like the Browns.
Browns.
Donna, are you feeling them that much? You want the override?
No, God.
Not on Atlanta.
I,
All right.
I want to beat the other player, the team that we're playing.
All right, next game.
Or the other
Eagles,
guys in this pool, I should say.
fucking Eagles are at home. They're -6.5, but against Jacksonville.
Here comes my override.
I love Jacksonville.
Oh, so these guys are believing in the Carson Wentz fucking magic. All right, thinking that he was gonna fucking put on some fucking show in fucking Washington this past weekend.
I was hoping.
I took them in survival pool. I bet them. I still think you know when they say work smarter, not harder. I said, Jules, do yourself a favor, bet smarter, not with your heart. And that's exactly what I did with the Eagles. I said, what if they weren't the most hated team in the NFL? Would you bet them? I said, absolutely. So then fucking bet them, dude. It's money. All right. And yeah, I'm with them again. Fuck the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are playing over their head. The Eagles have been playing better than anybody in the NFL right now besides the Buffalo Bills. Okay.
Doug Peterson goes.
What you're going to say is actually been playing both sides of the ball better. Doug Peterson knows the team. It is somewhat of a revenge. And if this game was in Jacksonville, I don't care if that spread was 3, I would put Jacksonville to win. I think the magic dies down this week. I got to go with the Eagles, man. You got to ride a hot team. We're talking about betting here. You ride the hot team.
I don't know. I'm just gonna.
Heart, not with your heart.
I can't say what I want to say. So, just
Ben's got to be the tiebreaker.
The Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence is finally making that step. Peterson is the right guy for it, but I think Philly has too much depth, too much everything. They're playing like Jules. I agree with everything that Jules said with that. 100%. Jalen Hurts is playing with a lot of confidence. I think Philly wins, and they win handily.
All right, screw you guys. All right, next game.
I don't want to pick them. I don't want to pick them.
The Lions are -4.5 against the Seahawks. I like the
Lions. Roar.
Yeah, Lions roar.
Yeah, with the Seahawks having to come over and play that 1:00 game, I understand it's the Midwest, but it's almost the East Coast. It's only an hour difference. It's still that little bit of difference. And the Lions are playing some really good football. They have. So, yeah, I like the Lions too.
I think they have Seattle traveling. I think they have Seattle traveling the most out of any NFL team, and they're like the worst team roster-wise right now, the way they shaped up. But, I just think Detroit plays hard. They play for Campbell. They've been a nice, pleasant surprise this year. I think they win.
Yeah, Seattle's far as fuck from everywhere, so it's going to be the most travel team. Like, move your team if you don't want to travel far. Like, you picked the furthest place, and it should have been Alaska. They might have been closer to some places. You want to be close? Fucking go to fucking.
We got to put a team in like fucking Wyoming, so they got someone to go to. Right, that's a little closer.
Let's not get crazy, Jules.
Montana or some shit.
Let's not get crazy.
Montana fucking stampede.
All right, next game I like a lot. Steelers are at home. They're -3.5. I always take the Steelers getting points. They're -3.5 against the Jets. I think the Jets are starting Zach Wilson. I think he's back this week. I like the Jets, man. I don't really trust that game is always like, I don't know, always comes down to a field goal, man. I got to go with the Jets.
I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin. And he's playing a quarterback that's hasn't shown to be great yet. And I think his teams just always are good. And I don't know. I can't see the Steelers going, I guess I see 1-3. I just don't think they're gonna get mopped all over the place. And the Jets are the fucking Jets, bro. They're just the Jets. I gotta go Mike Tomlin over the Jets every day of the week.
If Pittsburgh was coming to the Meadowlands, I would be all over that Jets pick. All over it. But the fact that they're traveling into Pittsburgh, Trubisky's job is on the line. Them fans in Pittsburgh will be fucking giving it to him if they go 3-and-out like on the opening drive or something. So he's going to have that behind him. He knows what to play for. He's a fucking professional quarterback. He's played in that environment before. And Zach's coming off of injury. Like Pittsburgh should beat the Jets, dude. If they don't, that's a big upset. I don't care what the spread says.
Yeah, I agree. I think we will see the rookie come in for Pittsburgh eventually because Trubisky's just not going to hold on to that job. But he beats the Jets with Wilson back. Close game, though. Very close game.
All right, Steelers it is. Next game, Bills, Mafia. They're away. They're going into Lamar Jackson land to the Ravens. Bills are -3.5. I'm taking the Ravens. They're at home. I'm taking the point.
Really? I'm definitely going Bills here.
Because Bills got injured. Bills have so many
I
injuries.
thought I was gonna have to pull up a flag, override that shit.
I don't know.
What do you think, Jules?
I watched that game in its entirety, the Bills game this past Sunday. Miami did the old school fucking any way to beat your opponent fucking type of shit. I'm talking about like they didn't have fans set up all on the visiting fucking side of the field. They had them sitting out in the sun. You could go look at it. There was fucking limited tents that they had set up for them. They fucking sandbagged the shit out of the Bills. The Bills were missing almost their entire secondary, and they slowed down the best offense in the fucking NFL going into week 3 in the Miami Dolphins and held the fucking duo of receivers who had over 350 yards a week before to 188 with their backup cornerbacks, okay? Just let that shit settle in your brain for a second. Josh Allen, tired as he was in the fourth quarter, doesn't skip a fucking pass to McKenzie in the end zone. This game is over and the Bills are still undefeated. They are going in with revenge. They know how to stop Lamar. They are going to fucking handle it. They can cover the tight end, and Josh is going to fucking pay back. I think the Bills cover, and they cover easily.
I think with the corners missing, it hurts. I think Lamar continues his hot streak, and I think Baltimore wins because they're home.
So we got John. What'd you say?
Override!
Right?
Override!
Bills.
Jules, I'm gonna override your override.
Oh,
And I'm gonna take Bills.
that?
I don't know. We gotta flip a coin or some shit.
Oh, man.
What do you want to do? What do you
So,
want
yeah,
to do?
man, last week I had to do that with the Eagles, bro.
All right, Jules and John, do you feel that strongly Buffalo is really gonna fucking cover? I'll take Buffalo.
Yes, I do.
We'll
I
put them
absolutely
there.
do. I would be shocked. All right. They're not going to get it. They're not going to go. Listen, if you look at the power rankings that were released today, Bleacher
Remember
Report
this
want
game.
to do it. They still have Buffalo number 1 with 2 teams undefeated behind them.
All right. Well, remember this game. Remember
really?
this game, we'll talk about this on.
We defer to my Eagles statement, okay?
Don't put too much stock in those rankings, man. Don't put too much stock in that.
Yeah, that's weak. That's a weak argument. Next game, Giants are at home. They're -3.5. You know who I like? I'm taking the Giants, baby. Fuck the Bears.
I'm using my override on this. I don't care what you guys say.
Right.
I mean, no, but why does it keep getting?
We are picking the Giants.
3-point spread right now, but whatever. I do prefer the Giants at 3, just because if we do win by that field goal, we cover it. We at
I know
least
they
push.
play close.
You know what I mean? So in a gambling world right now, the current line is 3. So that line's fair. That's a bettable line. And if you've been watching the Giants the last 2 weeks, the line goes down. They opened up 2.5 against the fucking Carolina Panthers. That went down to a +1. All right. Dallas, we were fucking 2.5. That went down to -1. And now we're at fucking 3.5. So if you're really betting on it, wait till Sunday. All right. Let the line go under 3 and then slam the Giants home. But I guess at 3.5.
We've been the favorites for 3 weeks in a row right now.
What's that?
It's been a long time. I wonder when the last time that the Giants were favorites 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking tell you that one.
2011.
I don't even know about that. Maybe 86.
But yeah, might go back a long time. All right, so Giants it is. All right, next game, Cowboys, they're back at home. They're -3.5 against Washington. I'll take Washington with the points. I ain't sold on what I seen from the Cowboys last night.
And you sold what you seen from Washington.
I ain't sold on that either, but I'll take the points.
Well, you sold on Washington and Carson Wentz. Huh?
I'll take the points. That's all I'm saying.
I think that could be back. Wait, what is it again? What is the spread here?
3.5. I'll take the 3.5.
All right, so let's review now. You're talking about a Washington team that struggled and had to make a comeback against Jacksonville, right? And then pulled it out in the final seconds to beat a fucking young quarterback who I think now, if we replayed that game, they fucking smoke Washington. Then they lose in Detroit and got embarrassed by a divisional rival in fucking Philadelphia. But somehow, some way, Dallas coming off of a huge win against Cincinnati, coming out against a big win on Monday night against the Giants, is going to somehow stink up the fucking room because Washington's in the house.
Yes.
Oh, bro. Cowboys roll. That's the reason why they were getting all those calls, because they want the Cowboys to go to fucking 3-1 so they can fucking match up with the fucking Eagles. Let's be real here.
Guys.
Well, there's a possibility that you're gonna have 3-3-1 teams next week in the NFC.
I didn't say that was it. Well, maybe a 4-0 or 3-1 and 3-1, and then that shit dog team in the bottom. But you know,
well, Eagles could lose. Possible. Just with my heart, I gotta say the Commanders, just because I'd rather be 3-1 and with 2-2-2 teams than to be in third place still at 3-1. Having another 3-1 team to beat us and then a 4-0
smart, not your heart.
It doesn't matter. You guys are probably going to pick the Cowboys all three.
What do you like,
three
Ben?
of you, so.
This is a tough one to call. Where
in Dallas.
Dallas.
In Dallas too. These motherfuckers are picking Washington. Like, what are you guys crazy?
Who
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
gonna say
New
that.
York
I'm
City
gonna say
last night,
Dallas.
and all of a sudden we're gonna go to the fucking good old boys, and they're gonna lose.
All right,
So
fine. You'll
two.
get that. You'll get Dallas too. Okay, I'll put Dallas in. Fuck them. I just don't fucking like them. All right, next game.
You're smart. Now it's a hard. If you didn't care about the Cowboys, how would you
Fuck 'em.
bet it? I would
Fuck
bet
the
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Okay, then
Fuck
that's
your
what you
fans.
bet.
All right, next game. Panthers at home. They're -1.5 for some reason against the Cardinals. I actually like the Cardinals a lot.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, does that little midget really suck as bad as somebody on this podcast has been saying for the past 2 seasons? I don't know. It's very possible. All right.
Is that somebody me?
I'm not quite sure who says about that midget all the time, but you know, he's overrated, Kyle Murray. He can fucking scramble like a motherfucker, but that's about it. Yeah, dude, I don't know. That's a weird fucking line. Like, how is so? Like, yeah, that line just scares me. I don't understand it. I understand there's a ton of injuries. I believe they're like they really only have Brown and what's the kid's name? The other one that's been like pretty much a start in his go-to receiver. Yeah. So I mean, listen, I don't know if Connor's 100%. I understand they're a little banged up. I get it. I would be shocked if Arizona doesn't win, they're not a for real team. So I have to go with Arizona, knowing that they have to win this game. It's a must win for them.
I'm Arizona too.
Me three.
All right, Arizona it is. All right, next game. Raiders are at home. They're -2.5 against the fucking Broncos. I'm going the Broncos. They got a better D, man. Raiders just look like shit all year.
I mean,
I think the Raiders come out of it. I think they win this game.
Yeah,
One game against division rival.
Division game.
I think that the Raiders do it.
Is Russell really going to be this bad all year? Really? Russell Wilson, they brought him over there. He was going to be this stud. I mean, he did throw for 300 yards week 1 Monday night against Seattle. I mean, he did, right? So, maybe he's not used to playing a mile high, right? I mean, everybody kind of takes that shit for granted too. It's going to probably be the game of the week, I think, possibly. Yeah, the only thing that's bothering me with this one is the fact that fucking the Raiders haven't won yet. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing that worries me. So they're going to be at home and they're going to be a scrappy fucking team. Maybe just because I put so much stock in Russell Wilson, I'll go Broncos, but very hesitant.
Tough game to analyze. I think you got 2 coaches that are really off to horrific starts. Hackett is a mess. I don't think he makes it through the season. McDaniels, I think, is, he was a bust in Denver with Tebow, and he's a bust here, in Oakland or whatever, Vegas. I think they said his offense is completely overcomplicated and there's no balance. If they need to start running the ball a little bit. I like what Jules said in that they're winless. They got, Derek Carr needs to get Devontae involved, and they gotta connect a little bit more here. I think Vegas, Denver will keep themselves in the game, but I think Vegas wins just because they had a meeting with the owner. The owner and the coach had a meeting already. So they're in desperation. Desperate teams win games.
All right. Well, you guys got the last ones before, so I'm going to stay with the Broncos on this one.
That's fine. We got the Broncos. We're good.
So, all right. Next game. Packers, they're at home. They're -10 going against Patriots. Hoyer, I guess, is playing. Everybody's probably going to ride the Packers into whatever, but I'm not. I'm going to stick with the Patriots getting the 10. When have we ever seen the Patriots get 10 points? I think it's a fool's way to bet the Packers -10, especially like the way their offense have looked. I don't like the way the fucking Packers offense have looked.
Yeah, I got to go with you, Mike. Honestly, it's like, you want, I know it's on the road. I know it's in Lambeau, but fuck that. You're going to give fucking Belichick 10 points. Like,
they'll figure out something stupid.
I'll do it. I'll take it. I'll lose.
That'll be a punt return.
I'll lose with the 10.
I'd rather lose with the 10 too, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I'll lose it with the 10 points.
All losing. We're all going to lose that game. So bet the Packers. All right. Next game. Chiefs are at home. Chiefs are away. They're in Tampa. Playing old man Tom Brady. Looks like instead of TB12, he looks like TB2. So I'm going to take Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs -2.
Listen, look, you have to, right? Like, if they didn't blow that loss in fucking, there's so many ways to look at this game, right? If the Chiefs didn't blow that game in Indy, I would be all over Tampa, right? To break them, they'd be undefeated.
Yeah. Maybe.
But then Tampa goes and loses a game, right? So it's like, I don't know. And now you're going to go into Tampa, but then you have the revenge factor of the Chiefs coming in, right? And I just don't know how good that Chiefs team is. They've been riding kind of high on CEH, running the ball better than he should be. Pacheco and all these other fucking guys. Juju Smith doesn't fucking scare anyone. I think Mike Evans comes back this week. You know what? Leonard Fournette's a little bit healthier. Yo, you're going to give fucking Tom Brady, I don't give a shit if fucking somebody's banging Giselle on the side or not, and he's all fucked up in his head. You're going to give him 2 points at home? Dude, no, I as much as I fucking make fun of the GOAT, I'm going to go with fucking with thinning cheek fucking skeletal looking Tom Brady to fucking pull out a win there.
Wow.
I'm going Chiefs. You want to laugh? Did you know that Mile High Stadium is exactly to the foot a mile high?
Yep.
Isn't that
That's why
weird?
they call it Mile High.
It's a
Hence
theater.
the name, John. Hence the name.
Well, no, but you would say mile high. Like you would think that, like, what are the odds that it's actually exactly a mile
I
high?
didn't know that. I didn't know
They
that.
constructed it
Yeah.
that way.
And
There's a
just
guy
for
named-
contrast, MetLife is 7 feet.
Damn.
Well, there's a guy named Short Dick Willie, and it's apparently it's
I'm
true.
gonna, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. I think Brady kind of pulls this out. Is Godwin playing? I don't know if Godwin's playing.
Nah, he's out. He's out again.
Oh yeah, he's out again. Fucking what a waste of a fantasy player. Holy shit. I say, and it's not even whatever. I say, yeah, Mike Evans coming back. That's what Brady was missing last week. If Brady had Evans in that red zone, I feel like he would have fucking beat the Packers. Because I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. But Brady, I respect. I'm not a big fan of his either. But I think Brady wins. I think Tampa wins.
Well, we're tied on that. I'm going to use my override in this and go with the Chiefs. I'm digging the Chiefs this way.
I'm a bitch.
Chiefs.
So,
So that's
according to ESPN's Football Power Index, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a 65.6% chance of winning this right now. So, I don't know.
Giants
That,
had a 61% last night. Before that happened, I read that. I was
Of course
like,
they
oh,
fucking did.
fuck. 61%. All right, last game is fuck them. 49ers are at home. They're minus 2.5 against the Rams. So the Rams are getting 2.5 points. The Rams are defending Super Bowl champ. I'm taking the Rams. I don't give a shit.
yeah, it makes
listen,
it easy. I'm going Rams too.
Yeah,
Me
dude.
too.
Like I'm not buying any Jimmy G. Fuck all that, bro. The Rams got to fucking step up. They got to keep pace with the Eagles now in fucking Tampa. So yeah,
I
fuck
agree.
that.
All right, so we
And
all
the Giants too, Jules.
That's right. And the
Jesus
Giants.
Christ.
And the G,
Right.
man. And the G,
You lost
man.
one game, bro.
we all agreed.
G, man.
Listen, we all agreed on the key bets being like the Rams, the Giants, and the Bengals. So we're gonna give Vin opportunity to pick one key bet out of all the games that we picked. So Vin, you got an option: Vikings, Colts, Texans, Browns, Eagles, Lions, Steelers, Buffalo, Cowboys, Cardinals, Broncos, Patriots getting 10, Chiefs, and that's it. You got to pick one. Pick a
Shit.
good one. Don't fuck up.
Holy shit.
If you
Can
pick
you
the
redo
Cowboys,
them one more
I
time?
can back you up.
One more time.
All right, I'll go down the list again. Stop me when you like a game. Vikings, Colts, Texans, Browns, Eagles, Lions,
Who the Browns playing again?
Falcons.
In Atlanta.
A road team. And Brown.
Eagles, Lions, Steelers, Bills.
Oh, give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles.
Ah,
Boo.
I like an Eagle.
Give me
I
the
hope
Eagles
you
on a
enjoyed
divisional
your
game.
last BBO podcast.
See you next year, bud. All right, that's
You have all the best bets in there, Mike.
yeah, all the best bets are, and that's a wrap on this
All
week's.
right, all right. Well, listen,
I mean,
we know we had this as a very, very long, extended BBO Big Blue Offensive podcast this week. We want to thank
We'll call
Vin
it
for coming
Rogan-esque.
on. Thank you, Vin.
Thanks,
Uh,
Vin.
I'm sorry I come in with some pessimism about some of our players. I'm just frustrated, you know.
We'll edit. I'll edit you out in post. Don't worry.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
I'll put a little clown horn in there.
We need that banter, though. We need that.
No doubt.
That pretty much wraps it up for this week. Maybe do yourself a favor. I know I'm saying that this is the end of the show, but maybe our editor, aka Mike, could put this in the beginning of the show. Maybe break this episode up into two. Listen to it halfway going in, don't work, and listen to the other half coming home, right? That's probably how you got to break this one down, because we covered so much. We made you feel like you were actually at the stadium, broke down the Giants game in fucking detail, went all the way into fucking NFL picks, and told you why to bet smart and not with your heart. With that in mind, we'll see you next week, all right? We're out. Peace.
Nicely done, Jules.
Go Giants.
Peace.